of the Resonance Project Foundation, and I'm going to be facilitating the call today along with this illustrious panel you see next to me. Adam Apollo is going to be helping out with the systems tonight. He's waving his hand. Isn't it great that we can actually see each other? I love this part. He's going to be helping with the systems tonight, and he's going to be opening up your line for questions later in the evening. He'll be manning the chat. Adam, do you want to give anybody some instructions before we get started?
Welcome to our call tonight. You may notice that in your GoToWebinar side panel, there's a place where you can raise your hand. That's not really going to be too useful until we get towards the end of the call, when we're going to open it up for some comments and questions. If you have questions, you can also type them into the questions area. And if you put them there, I'll be checking in on those throughout the call, and we'll pick some good ones for the end of the call to dive into discussion around. And there's also a chat bar if you just want to chat with the other members of the audience while you're listening and exploring the call with us. Thanks so much for being here.
Great. Thanks, Adam. So the call is going to run officially for 75 minutes. That'll be the formal part of the call. And then we're going to stay on another 15 minutes so that we can talk to you, have questions and answers, things like that. So 90 minutes total. And on the call tonight, we're going to be joined by Marshall Lefferts, who he can wave to you. He's in Connecticut calling in. He's the president of our board of directors. We'll also be hearing from Nassim Haramein, of course, our director of research over there in Kauai, and also Chris Almeida, who's our executive director. You can see him there in his camera, also in Kauai, and also Susan Kornacki, who will be coming on a little bit later in the call to share with us. So this is our panel for tonight, and you're here close to 1,000 people because you're a member or a delegate or an emissary or a colleague or friend of the foundation. And this call was designed especially for you because we wanted to say thank you for all of your support and participation over the years. The Resonance Project Foundation is where it's at right now because in part by your support. And this is our chance to say thank you and to show you what your energy and your love and your life force has helped make happen. So I'm going to hand over the call to, first of all, to Marshall Lefferts, who's our board of directors president, and he's going to share some thoughts with you. Marshall.
Thanks very much, Teresa. Wonderful to be here with everybody and to just share in this time we're in with the Resonance Project and a little bit about the phase ahead. And it's exciting times for us, so we're really happy to be able to share with everybody and invite everybody's participation going forward. And I just wanted to make a few comments as we head into this. And first, just to acknowledge really what an amazing past year and a half we've had at the Resonance Project. As you probably know, we received a grant about a year and a half ago that enabled us to set up our facility for research and administration on Kauai. And I must say, as president of the board, I'm scratching my head as to why I'm in Connecticut at this time with 6 inches of snow outside and about 16 degrees when Kauai is almost so close at hand. But it's a very wonderful place. We're really grateful for it. It's a wonderful opportunity for us to expand with this facility. And also, during this time, we established an excellent team who has accomplished really a huge amount of work getting our systems and our facilities set up and functioning really well. I just really want to extend appreciation to the whole team, past and present, that have really brought us to an amazing place of coherence and efficiency with all aspects of what we're doing. And then amidst all of this, Nassim managed to complete and get his paper published, which is called Quantum Gravity and the Holographic Mass, which you probably have possibly read, and if you're a physicist, possibly understood, hopefully. And if not, like me, Hopefully, Ms. Sim talked about it enough to get a feel for it, and there will be some more layman-oriented presentations coming soon, which would be great. But really, this was no small feat that he accomplished, considering it solves many of the greatest problems in physics that have existed for decades. And it was done while a million other things were pulling on him during this time, pulling for his attention. So, well done, Ms. Sim, on all fronts, and especially that one, because that's really a huge contribution to the physics community and to the world. And to date, it's really been, I think, received well. And as you said, there's, no holes have been poked in it. Because it's a very simple and solid premise and theory, and it's really elegant and beautiful. So we're all really proud for that and really appreciate it. Beginning to see ripples out in the world because of it, as the holographic paradigm that Ms. Sim has been describing for years is starting to be more overtly explored in mainstream physics community. And it's exciting to see that happening. Whether related to the paper or not, it's heading in the direction that Ms. Sim and this team has been oriented towards for a long time. So we're really thrilled about starting to see that happen as well. And that RPF and its emerging sister organization, the Hawaii Institute of Unified Physics, are really becoming leaders in this fundamental worldview paradigm shift of the holographic perspective, connected universe. So exciting time. And also during this past year, we've been able to bring our attention to the design and the initial development of our educational offering. And RPF is both a research and education institution. So we're happy to be bringing more of the attention now to the educational offerings. And this first rollout is with the Resonance Academy, which is opening up today. And it's really a humble beginning towards a vision that we all share of the Academy and our future delegate and emissary programs, those being our primary educational programs today. And the vision of it is represented in the initial launch for the site at present. And there are really kind of 2 points of focus that are in the site right now. First is to introduce the Academy and the programs we're developing for launch next year, the new delegate program and emissary program. And also to invite membership in the Resonance Project Foundation as an invitation of collaboration and ongoing mutual exchange for our community. And this is an important one, and as board president, I just want to speak to it for a moment, because really, in the past, we've been pretty passive about membership. And we're really grateful to have at present about 150 members providing their ongoing financial support. It's a small but dedicated core group of supporters, and that means a lot to us. And we're in a new phase now. And with it, we're now seeking to expand our membership. And the Resonance Project is a public nonprofit research and education organization. And in order to maintain this public status, it's important that we build a broad public support base. So in this new phase, we're asking our extensive and awesome global community take a step into further involvement by becoming contributing members of RPF. Now, we have this grant, and we're really grateful to be working with it at this time, and it really has helped us move forward in huge ways. And it comes with its own, defined budgetary constraints. And so even though it empowers us to do many, many good things, we still need a broad support base to maintain our public status as well as fund other aspects of our work. And so this next phase, we're really reaching out for that support to expand. And it really helps us in huge and important ways going forward, including furthering the development of the Academy that we're beginning to roll out, and the next phases of the delegate and emissary programs. And so we need your help to help make all this happen, and we're thrilled that you're here, and the interest is very strong, having close to 1,000 people register for this call and many others wanting to be connected to it. We know that the global interest is really strong, and we're so grateful for that. And it's part of the toroidal nature of the Resonance Project and our global community, where we can all participate in making the visions that we all share with the Resonance Project and for the world become practical and successful for everybody involved. So I'm just thrilled to be here. It's an exciting time. We have a really exciting path ahead that we have been creating and are beginning to develop. And I'm just super honored to be here with everybody, to be working with Nassim and the Resonance Project, and with Teresa and Adam and Chris and Susan and the whole team there. It's an awesome group. And we're really grateful that the community around the world is really supporting us and bringing this important work out. And so thank you, everybody, for that. And so with that, I want to introduce Nassim, which actually seems pretty redundant in this situation here. I think everybody knows a lot about Nassim, and I just want to say, from my personal perspective, I personally headed into explorations about cosmic geometry about 35 years ago, and for 20 or so of those years, I hadn't met anybody that really was seeing the same thing I was seeing until I met Nassim and heard him present, and it was like, wow, he is actually coming from that Bucky Fuller perspective, and you know what that kind of implies and leads to. He's actually saying the same thing and way more because he's doing it from a physics perspective, which I have really thrilled since then, Nassim, to be able to be in this process with you and to be in dialogue about it all, doing this exploration, and especially with the phenomenal work and creation that you've done with the theory and the paper recently. That is really quite awesome. Very exciting to see how it shapes and forms the physics world in the future. So with that, welcome, Nassim. Thank you for everything, and I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Marshall. It's so great to have you be part of this great adventure, the Resonance Project, and have you do this incredible dedicated work that you have to do as the director of the board of director of the Resonance Project, and you know, Teresa and Adam and all the people behind the scene at Superluminal, you know, working so hard to make today possible, and our first, you know, soft launch of the Academy, the Resonance Academy, RA for Raw. And I think that it's really, really amazing what has happened in the last year and a half at the Resonance Project, all the work that was done by all of the staff here at the Resonance Project, many changes that have occurred, and our capacity to reach out to the world. And of course, the publishing of my latest paper, which was able to predict the correct radius of the proton more precisely than a standard model. And more importantly, the fact that this physics and this actually simple algebraic and geometric solution tells us very deeply, very profoundly in describing the mechanics and the structure of space-time, that we are all connected at a very, very deep level, at the most fundamental level of our existence, and that this connection between all points in the universe is the source of what we see in the evolution of biological systems, or even in the evolution of planetary structures, galactic structures, and so on. And that we're part of this incredible network. And the Resonance Academy is really like a hub that we're creating for this network that is external to us, where we can meet and when we can exchange information directly, and explore the connectivity that's already present at the deepest level of our existence. And, you know, when I visualize the Resonance Academy, when, you know, we started to, you know, flush out all the details on how this would happen and how we would do this, and with the incredible visionary people that work alongside with us, you know, it just became so clear to me that this is the academy of the future, and not that it is going to happen in the future, because it's happening now, today, but because when I visualize the expansion of this academy, this new academic structure that gives us an alternative from the conventional academic structure, I visualize something along the lines of the Starfleet Academy. I visualize something very, very powerful, very, very evolved, very, very advanced, that includes incredible technologies. Some of the technologies that we're developing, that the Superluminal team is developing right now, where there's going to be an incredible amount of you know, human interface transformation, how you actually interface with your computer and interface with the academy, and how you get to learn and exchange information and contribute to each other. And that, it's so close, we're so there, and it's so exciting that you're participating. And I know that it's just going to grow like wildfire, because it is the destiny of our world to transcend this moment in our evolution, where we're transforming from a society that live very much in fear and in some sense of not having enough or lack of resources, to a society that lives in a completely abundant universe, that realize that there is energy everywhere for us, and that we are to each other the universe talking to ourselves. And that is such an important transformation in our evolution. And I'm pleased to announce that the Academy is one of the tools, one of the opportunity to participate at that level, at the forefront of that change. So I'm as well wanting to congratulate you for being here, to being on this call, for having, you know, followed all this research throughout the years. I know many of you have been there for so long, have been so dedicated. And it takes dedication, because when you approach people with this kind of knowledge, typically initially they can be some knee-jerk reaction. Not that I would have ever experienced anything like that, but it is, you know, always challenging, and it has been, and I know you guys have been there. You've been solid throughout the up and downs of the Resonance Project, and us, you know, doing everything we can to move forward as fast as we can. And sometimes it's painfully, you know, slow, but here we are. And at this point, you can come in and open the doors of the Resonance Academy, opens the doors of the Resonance Project, and participate, come in, become a delegate, become an emissary, help people become delegate, you know, contribute ideas, interact with teachers from all around the world. I mean, Teresa has got an incredible presentation after this that is going to show you a lot of the things that are coming your way. But, you know, I wanted to thank everybody for their support throughout the years. There is absolutely no way I could have done what I've done, even in terms of developments in um, physics, concepts, and so on, without obviously your support and our morphogenetic field holding this information network bubble that we've created, that we are today putting a foundation to, call the Resonance Academy. So welcome. Thank you for your participation at the deepest level. Thank you to all the staff at the Resonance Project. You know, many people were involved, Susan Kornacki, Lindsay Bauer, and many others. Thank you to all the people at Superluminal Systems doing incredible work in bringing some of the fine edge technological possibilities to us to make this happen. And I want to move on to thank you to our executive director at the Resonance Project for keeping me in line and making sure that all the details actually occur, and you know, and taking a lot of my overwhelm off my shoulders. So Chris Adamina, that has been an incredible addition to our team, and that without, we probably wouldn't be here today being able to announce this. So thank you, Chris, and here's the mic.
Well, thank you very much, Nassim, for that introduction. What an inspiring message. That was so wonderful to hear. Your gratitude and your synopsis of everything that's happened. And as I was hearing that, I was in a bit of panic. How am I going to follow this? You know, how do you go after all these great people? But I can tell you all that I'm super excited to be here with you today. This is one of the first times that I've been able to address our community at large, and what an honor. It's been an honor to join this team. It's been an honor to come into contact with all the individuals here on the staff and the Superluminal and the board of directors and the SIM. I mean, this journey started for me with my surfing buddy saying, hey, I think there might be an opportunity for you, and do you want to go on this ride with me? And some days, if I'd known what was involved, I'd have been a little more cautious. But overall, it's been probably one of the most exciting things I've ever done in my life. And I think everyone that comes into contact with the Resonance Project Foundation, to whatever degree you participate, really feels that energy. It's just, you know, you're doing something that you've been destined for all your life. It's like stepping up to some plateau of greatness. So it's very humbling and very exciting, and I'm really grateful to be here. I just want to touch briefly on some of the important things that have already been mentioned. Just first and foremost, once again, to thank all of you for your participation. None of this is possible without you as our community. You guys are the feedback loop that let us know when we're hitting the mark, and let us know when we're not hitting the mark, and you know what we can do better and where we can grow, and really reflecting to us. I mean, that's really what I consider our community to be, that mirror that really reflects to us how we need to further step up and what we can better provide. So I'm very, very thankful for all the support that you provide and for playing that role for us. And you know, this year, as mentioned, has been super exciting. It's been one milestone after another. You really can't imagine that these guys really in a year and a half came from shipping containers into old dusty buildings and transformed this into an incredible, beautiful, functional, aesthetically pleasing, wonderful location to allow this work to unfold from. And that's just been an amazing effort. And that's all going on in the background, while at the same time, the SIM releases a groundbreaking paper that really sets physics on its ear quite a bit, and changes the whole table and the whole conversation. And hopefully you've had a chance to read that paper and really listen to some of the talks and get an idea of the importance of that, because it's monumental what we're doing here. So we're super, super excited. And the work the Superluminal team has been doing and our staff here around the Academy, I'll tell you, I am breathless in many ways. I've been involved in software development for the last 6 years in a previous incarnation. I know what it looks like. I've watched big teams struggle mightily to put things out of similar stature with similar scope. And boy, these guys are experts. They're amazing. They've done a great job. They do things on time. They run lean. They work well together. They're super responsive. I mean, it's just, they have a saying around Superluminal, if you've thought of it, we've already done it. And boy, they really live up to it every time. So major kudos to you guys. I'm so excited about what we're offering here today. The unfoldment of Nassim's vision, because I've, you know, as I came onto the team many times, we had these discussions about, you know, what he wanted to offload and what his vision were for these different projects. I literally walked in on day one and there were stacks of different things like, hey, we've got all this stuff. We'd like you to pick up these balls, and by the way, pick them up while they're spinning in the air. And really, what's unfolded here is pretty close to his vision, and what's coming beyond what you're going to see today is really, really getting close. So it's pretty amazing. And the launching of the new membership program, just touching briefly on what Marshall mentioned, is also a super exciting thing where I think we're really, really showing the value to the people who contribute to us and how much we value them and how much their contribution means to us, what it means to us as a 501(c) public entity, what it means to us as an organization, and really giving you insight into how it unfolds and how it allows us to do the kind of work that we're trying to do. So I really, really appreciate you for answering to that call that's being made to you today and continuing to give us that support. It's super critical, and we really appreciate it. So that's, I think, all you're going to hear from me today. I try to keep my remarks brief. I'm going to hand this over now to Teresa, who's going to shepherd us through this amazing presentation, which I am very excited to watch. And once again, thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, everybody. That was so fun. Everybody was beautiful and really heartfelt. Yes. So we're here to show you. You're the first people to see this new Resonance Academy and the first to join, we hope, our new contributing member program. And I just want to say, I want to acknowledge that everything that you're going to see today and in the months to come have been made possible in part by you. So really feel that as you're looking at it. It's like, this is what we've given birth to together through, you know, the early delegate programs and the emissary programs and all the ways in which we've all participated in it. So take some pride in what you see as well. I also wanted to say, everybody mentioned Superluminal Systems, and I didn't say anything about that in the beginning. Superluminal Systems is a small team of people who really have a passion for transformational education, for really creating new pathways into empowering people to, you know, live in their mastery. And this effort of what you're going to see here and what's emerging at the foundation really is coming through this synergy. Luminal team and the staff at the foundation. We're learning how to work together as a real unified team. So I just want to say thank you for everybody pulled together in an astonishing way. And I think what you'll feel, or what I hope you'll feel in the presentation and what you've kind of felt as you've heard each person talk, is that the Resonance Project Foundation really has gotten solid, and that we're beginning to ride a whole new wave of our service and of our research and of our engagement of our. What I want you to feel as you're watching this presentation. The other thing I will say is I love doing these. This is, I think, one of my most favorite things in the world to do, is to take something like what we have here to show and to share, and to create beautiful, simple visuals that convey not only the information, but hopefully the energy that's just bursting inside of what is. So this is a little journey to give you the peek into the what we're doing with the Resonance project as a whole, the Resonance Academy, and our new contributing member program. And we'll share ways in which you can become involved. That little thing I have to do. So as many of you might be experiencing, it seems like this year the waves have been getting bigger. We seem to be connecting with people that are here to do similar work to ours, and we're joining our energy, and something bigger is rising. And that certainly has been the case for the Resonance Project. And we're, there's something about when the current starts to get stronger and the waves start to get bigger that you really pull together and you begin to anchor in the kind of foundation and mastery required to ride the kind of waves that are ahead. And I really feel like that's what the organization has been doing over this last year. So the Resonance Project is a research and education foundation. I think that's really important for us to get really clear about what our job is. And this year we launched our resonance.is website and also our HIUP website, the Hawaii Institute of Unified Physics. And one's really serving more the general public and the other the scientific community, because the research and conversations that are happening are important and valuable at both scales. And then we're also an education foundation. And we've had some education initiatives over the years, and this year we're really beginning to expand our educational division. This is going to be just as big as our research division. And in our research division, we're actively researching, writing, and publishing, and we're providing ongoing updates to you through our website and social feeds and emails and newsletters. Because RPF is committed to being a place where you can consistently find quality information related to the exploration of the frontiers of unified physics. That's really what we're aspiring to and beginning to make manifest. We also want it to be a place where you can engage with the information in a learning community environment. And that's where the Academy comes in. And we also want to have this be a place where you can contribute through your participation and your own research finding. This is about our collective exploration of a whole new frontier. And I really want to stop here and acknowledge our communications team. So we're a research and education foundation, and I feel like the communications aspect of our work is what weaves the two together. It's what makes it visible and provides the kind of feedback loop that's necessary. And our communications team has really been stepping up and doing a beautiful job. As you've been seeing emails going out or postings on the website, this team has really got some good chops, and you're going to see some wonderful things from them over the years. So I just wanted to pause and say thank you for all of those efforts. So I've been listening to Nassim and some interviews that he did for the new film that's coming out, the Connected Universe film. And there's one part that kind of rings in my head, and I've paraphrased it here a little bit, but he said in this one stretch, "My recent theory proves that everything is connected, no longer just as a spiritual concept, but as a single algebraic fact." So something that we have been in some ways tuning into inside and feeling, but now it's proven at all scales, from micro to macro, with this theory. So if it is indeed true, then what are the implications and applications? How will this change our lives individually and collectively? Technologically, socially, spiritually? These are really powerful questions that we'll be exploring together. So at the Resonance Project, we're applying this theory in the lab. This is such a funny picture of this thing. I love it. We're on the land. We're really applying it on the land in how we organize ourselves and structure our organization. We're also applying this theory inside of ourselves and in the way that we relate to each other. So if this is indeed true, then how does it change the way we live and work and love? And who are we in this unified fabric of life? And what do each of us have to contribute to it? So those are the kind of questions that we see ourselves exploring and more together in the Resonance Academy. So here's just some like underlying feelings about the Academy, and to give you a taste of what we're aspiring to. So we believe that everyone has a genius for something. That every person has a unique gift to give in this life, and that gift is exactly what is needed right now. Unfortunately, education as we know it often doesn't cultivate this truth. But like all things that are beginning to lose their effectiveness, the prevailing educational system is evolving. What emerges will be the result of the efforts of countless teachers and students courageously innovating new ways of learning, ways that liberate the unique creativity and empowers each person to develop their mastery and give their gift. The Resonance Academy and Superluminal Systems are part of this pioneering force. And we invite you to join us in this exciting exploration. This is something that we get to do together. And your gift is definitely welcome here. The Resonance Academy, exploring the frontier of unified physics in a learning community environment. That's what we're launching today with you. So this is really an experiment that we're going to be engaged in together. You know, what does it take to actually explore the frontiers of unified physics in a learning community environment? I mean, it's a nice saying, but this is actually what we want to do more than talk about. We actually want to embody what this means, be a model for what can be. And we're going to do that both virtually and locally. We know it's important that we have the kind of systems that can reach a global audience, that are taking advantage of some of the immersive technologies that are coming. But we also know that we can't really create a vibrant learning community without coming together in local communities and groups where we can see each other, where we can explore and apply what we're learning. So we aspire to create learning experiences that are immersive and engaging and interactive and informative and fun. And our mission of the Academy is to become a vibrant learning community network of researchers, leaders, innovators, and game changers. You guys, us, all of us. People that are dedicated to restoring the earth and exploring the vast potential within a connected universe. Now, the Academy's initial set of core courses have been inspired by the life and work of Nassim. And by sharing his own lifelong quest and the discoveries he's made along the way, Nassim will be able to encourage students and fellow researchers to continuously question the many assumptions that influence our current view of reality, and then boldly go beyond it. At the same time, as you journey through the Academy, you'll be introduced to other teachers and researchers and fellow travelers on the path. We all have something to contribute to this new frontier. So we're clear that the Academy isn't about promoting a single teacher or dogma. It really is about embarking on a serious, engaging, and humble quest into a vast new frontier. So are you ready to embark on a journey of a lifetime? That's the invitation that we have. And to do that, we say, it's time for us to leap fully into life. Like really, like Nassim said, explore the connectivity that is already present at the core of our existence. existence. Like, that's what it requires. Leap fully into life. And dive deep into the mystery of it so that we can come into direct experience of that connectivity and from there recreate the world. And bring our mastery to the ride. The Academy really is about cultivating our mastery so that we can begin to ride these bigger and bigger waves together. And of course, it's more fun when we take this kind of leap together, a leap into the vast potential that is possible for all of us. So that's really an evocative taste of the Resonance Academy and what we're intending as its core initial impulse. And then what will come from here really will be the reflection of all of the people who bring their energy in and begin to explore this frontier with us. So what you're going to see today is just the tip of the iceberg of what's coming. We've been, as Nassim said, we've been developing some systems that are really going to be taking advantage of the new technologies that are becoming available for immersive learning. So for right now, we're starting simple. And we're starting simple with you so that we can grow this together based on the feedback and the flow of our experiments together. So here's your first taste of the Academy. We're going to just go and have like a little tour. And this is the opening of our Discovery Center. And what you'll find with the visuals that we've been using for the Academy is that we really wanted everything to feel as if you're entering somewhere. And as the internet becomes more immersive, so will we in some of the ways that we engage in learning. I mean, imagine being able to actually look at an atom in 3D and be able to understand the structure of things from a much more of an immersive perspective. I think that's part of our future. But here we are in our simple offering as the seed of the Academy. And in the Discovery Center, you'll be able to take a tour. So just give you a little information about each of the different areas and share a little bit about our vision. A lot of the slides you saw today are there for to evoke the energy. So the first place that you might go is our Inquiry Lab. And this is where we explore question-inspired learning. If we're at the frontier of something new, we really need to ask good questions like, what is resonance? This is the Resonance Academy. What is spin? What is space? What's a black hole? What did Einstein believe? What's my part in this? So in the Inquiry Lab, we'll be exploring all kinds of great questions and providing rich media and resource links out to learn more. We're also going to be doing some public events, and Academy Hangouts on Air, featuring Nassim, and also other researchers like Jamie and Marshall Lefferts, who has a whole offering on cosmometry, or William Brown, who's one of our scientists at the research park in quantum biology, or Adam Apollo at Mastery. So we'll have a way in which we can have these kind of events more and more and share the knowledge and the research and the interaction that can happen in these kind of hangouts. We're going to do our first hangout actually on the 20th of December, Winter Solstice Hangout on Air. And we're excited to actually have Foster Gamble join us from the movie Drive, and Barbara Marx Hubbard will be there. And these guys are all old friends. They've been working together in different ways over the years. We had a lovely conversation the other day, and it's going to be exciting to hear their reflections on what's happened since Winter Solstice 2012, when we had these huge celebrations of really the dawning of a new time. And really look at how we can inspire each other to set a courageous course for this coming year, to really step into our lives and into our mastery. So this will be an exciting call, and you'll have an opportunity to register. So from the Inquiry Lab, you might decide that you want to go into our portal of our Academy program. And the first one that we'll explore is our Delegate Learning Center. used to be that the delegate program was offered in a weekend. I think Jamie just completed one, actually. So that would be the last one from this year, where you came for a weekend and you spent hours and hours sitting and listening to the lectures and taking in such a huge amount of information. And we know that actually we need more than that to be able to fully enter into this kind of exploration, this research. So we're creating a new level of the delegate program, and there'll be 2 levels, actually a level 1, which we're going to launch in the spring, and this will provide a great introductory overview of some of the fundamentals that we need in order to launch into an exploration into unified physics. And then level 2 that we'll be launching in the fall is actually a deep dive. It's going to be a fun matrix. You'll move together in pods. And I think it's going to be an exciting journey that really has infinite potential. So that's coming. And in the Delegate Learning Center, it's really going to be about exploring and experiencing, embodying, and contributing back to the community what you're learning so that we can begin to have a greater understanding of what's happening to us as we explore the connectivity already present at the core of our existence. I love that, Ms. Lim. It's my favorite line. And the next place we're going to journey to is the Emissary Leadership Center. So we had 85 emissaries over the last few years attended one of 2 emissary retreats. There was 10-day training. And these emissaries came to deepen their understanding of the information and materials, deepen their embodiment, so that they could go out in the world and begin to share the good news, to do presentations, to go out and teach. And so many of the emissaries, I think, have been excited about having a little bit more structure and more opportunities to step up in leadership and to share and bring in new delegates into our system. So the Emissary Leadership Center really, we kind of have this feel that we're both connected to what's happening on the earth, but we're also really looking out to the cosmos. We're really embracing the larger understanding from the micro to the macro. And in the Emissary Leadership Center, we're going to be launching 2 programs next year. One is an emissary hosting program that goes along with the delegate level 1. So emissaries will host small groups either in their homes, in their communities, or virtually to support new delegates to move through this material. And then in the fall, when we enter into the deep dive, our emissary guide program will start. And every pod will have an emissary to support them to move through this 3-month journey. And this is really one of the ways that we build a leaderful community, is that people that have explored the information and have been applying it in their lives go and support the people who are just coming into the process. And they help and they mentor by sharing their experience. So we're really wanting to build that into the Academy, is that we grow this community together. We support each other into this exploration, and that way we're all contributing and helping this community grow. So the emissaries, as I said, will host and guide groups of new delegates through the Delegate Program Series, exploring the frontier of unified physics as a learning community. So this is the beginning of our expansion of what we're doing through the leaders of our emissaries. So now, our new contributing member program, that's also available in the Academy, and I'm really excited about this because we've had a member program for a while, and really we didn't have a lot of infrastructure and capacity to always give it the kind of energy that we really wanted to give. I mean, thank God for Holly and others who really kept things going throughout the years. But now with a whole team of people, we decided that one of the things we most wanted to make rich was our member program, so that as you're contributing to us, we're able then to contribute more and provide more for the community. So here's some peeks into the membership. So our intention is to engage and reward our contributing members in a variety of fun ways. Before we had you get the newsletter and you go to this place. And we wanted to be able to have the opportunity to keep the benefits fresh and relevant and leave you feeling always happy that you're supporting this organization and the things and initiatives and projects and opportunities that it's providing. And you should always expect surprises from us. Whenever we have the chance to have a surprise for our community members, we will. So here's the starting of our contributing member benefits. We'll have a quarterly newsletter. You're already getting monthly updates that are quite rich. And the quarterly newsletter is going to include a video blog from the Sim, his captain's log, and some featured commentary on maybe some of the most recent discoveries that are happening in science from our science team, and other really extraordinary features for this. We really want this to be a premier newsletter. There's also a members-only area where you'll find resources that are for only members. We'll also have member-only events like Hangouts that are just for the members. And we're going to offer special pricing. So the public would pay a certain price, and our contributing members will always get a special price for any of the programs that are being offered in the Academy. And as a special gift, because we're so excited that you're the first ones to come in, is that if you become a contributing member before December 31st, that we're going to give you a free pass to the Delegate Level 1 program when it launches in the spring. So we hope everybody comes now, because we want you to join us in the beginning of this launch of the Delegate program, and this is a fantastic way to do that. So I love this image. Marshall was talking about it, and Sim was talking about it. It's just this nature of the flow. So by becoming a contributing member of the Resonance Project Foundation and supporting our research and education initiatives, you empower us to provide more ways for you to participate and support our research and education initiatives. It becomes this beautiful flow. And if we're going to ride these bigger waves, we need to increase the current of our mutually beneficial exchange with one another. So this is really our invitation to begin to create this kind of generative and coherent and vibrant field. I've also had the pleasure of working on this wish list. I was asking the foundation about some things that we haven't been able to afford to do because our funds are limited. We had a grant, as Marshall said. There's a lot that we have to do with a large property and with a team. And so we focused on using our resources for our research and also for creating this academy. So there's two things that we put in our wish list for Christmas time, for holiday season, for this launch energy. And one is to support our land. We have a beautiful property of 13 acres, and it has natural water sources and ponds. And as part of our applying the research of this theory is how the water flows. And so we need to get a pump, water pump, to begin to move the water around the property to nourish our gardens that we're creating, our food forests that we're working with, our orchard that we'll be creating, and also begin to experiment with the kind of energy, water, movement, and flow that'll help to inform us in our research. So this project needs to raise $10,000 by the end of January. And I'm super excited to get this one done because it's needed now as the rains are coming and lots of water pouring in. It's the time to get this working. So if you're someone that has extra resources and you feel excited about connecting and sponsoring something on this beautiful property that we have, that you want to give your energy for it to continue to grow and be a real viable research park, this would be one place that you could add some extra love. And the other one, which is super exciting, is a 3D printer for the lab. And this one really helps to accelerate our research. With a 3D printer, we can save months and months of man-hours working on prototypes. And we're really at that point now where this kind of acceleration, this kind of technology will certainly make things run smoother, make us more efficient, and begin to produce the kind of models that we need in our research right now. So this is the other one I'm really excited to get support from the community, just to be able to, like, I don't know, put a big bow and deliver this to the lab sometime in the new year would be super exciting. And in these wish list projects, what we've decided to do when we offer something out to the community to say, look, we really need something like this, but we can't afford it, so we want to put it on our wish list, and we want to invite you to help us to accelerate our research or partner with a lab that will let you know when the money has been raised. That will get posted on the site of who helped in the community for that to happen, and you'll get updates as to whatever it was that you support, how's it going and how is it serving the community, the land, or the research. So I'm just going to take a breath for a minute and just have us really tune into this opportunity to create greater flow together, to empower the things that are important to us, to empower a worldview that acknowledges this interconnectedness at the core of our existence, that this organization that is here to help spread this good news, and to all of you that are the embodiment of that good news going out if you choose to be. And I really have been thinking today about resonance. Like, this is the Resonance Project. This is the Resonance Academy. And so there's a quality of energy. There's a quality of presence. There's a quality of flow that we are dedicated to, that we have as a mandate, and that we can achieve together when we begin to tune in to the current underlying this connected universe. I'm just going to take a deep breath for a minute and just tune in to what's possible when we join our energies. So the current is definitely flowing. There's something rising up, and we're definitely feeling it with the Resonance Academy. We're feeling it at the research park, and we're feeling it coursing through our community. And we know that there's some big waves coming. And it's the big waves that we're preparing for. You know, we're standing on the side. We're watching the current. We're putting in place what we need to be solid. And we're inviting our community in to help hold the space, to help contribute the energy needed in order to ride the wave. And the other thing we haven't touched on is the short film that's coming out. And that's coming out in January or February, early in the year. And there's going to be a special event, a VIP event with live streaming, house parties with the emissaries. And this really is going to be the next wave of our public outreach. This launch today was really for our internal community, for all of you who have been with us for so many years, and our friends and family that we share this with over the next couple of weeks as we build to the solstice call. But the film coming out will be the next wave of a larger public outreach as we open the delegate program in the spring. So a big wave is coming. And we're really looking to have us all join together and build a solid base to ride the current and ride these waves with mastery and grace. So I'm going to turn the mic over to Susan Kornacki. Let me do this first. I'll just finish the presentation because I only have 2 slides, and then we'll go back on video so we can see. So let's just say this moment is the official opening of the Academy, because right now at the bottom of the screen, you can see the URL for the Academy, and it is now open for you to go and explore. You might want to hang out with us for a few more minutes before you go, but let's just tune in for a minute that this is now our opening, our invitation for you to join us in this grand experiment and to begin to explore the frontiers of unified physics with us through our research, through our website, and through our academy. And when you go there, there's a couple things that we'll encourage you to do. So you can visit the Discovery Center and take the tour. You can join our new contributing member program and get your free pass into the Delegate Level 1, and that's going to expire at the end of the year. So we're doing this for the community just for this next few weeks. And you can sign up for the Solstice Hangout. There's a registration there in our Inquiry Lab. And you can also go and check out our wish list and maybe sponsor one of our wish list projects. So those are the things you can do. You're going to be getting some information. Susan will tell you about it, what you're going to be getting by email to help you so you don't have to remember all those things. So thank you for your attention during this presentation. I'm so excited and honored to be working with the Resonance Project Foundation with its research and education initiative. And I'm super excited to go and begin to explore this emerging field of unified physics with all of you. We'll have some great fun over this year as we launch the Academy and grow our precious and powerful learning community. And here's Susan Kornacki. Lovely to see you, beautiful. And she's going to share with us about what kind of emails and communication you're going to be getting to help you find your way into the Academy in the most simple and elegant ways.
Thank you, Teresa. Thank you so much. That was fantastic. Hopefully everybody feels very inspired looking at a new way of learning. It's really amazing to be in this position and to see the information that comes in from all over the globe in terms of what's lacking in education out there, both in high schools, colleges, and just generally what people can receive. So to be a part of something that's so amazing, new, and needed is really remarkable, and you did a wonderful job, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for believing in what is possible. It's not an easy road. I think that many of us have been through. Nissim alluded to that earlier, and when you really do believe in what is possible, you remain steadfast in that, and I think that what you're seeing now is a culmination of some very intelligent, good-hearted, and brave people that have worked to pull this together, and everybody that's listening right now is exemplifying that as well. So thank you so much. And since we're living in a time of great change right now, communication is really important. So we've upped our focus here in terms of what we're sending out to the community. We will continue to do that. We try to make everything as clean, neat, and simple and aesthetically beautiful as possible. So experiencing that. And also, you'll be receiving emails from us pretty much right after this call is finished, so you can continue to get informed, participate, and to sign into the Academy, and also to the new Contributing Members program as well. So that's, in real time, that'll be happening very, very shortly right after this call. And you'll also, if you're a contributing member right now, you will receive an email with some really simple instructions about how to transition into the new member program as well, and to the community system. So take a moment to just read those and follow the links that are in there. Again, the instructions are pretty simple, but just take the time to do that. And of course, if you have any questions, just let us know and we'll be responsive to you. I'd also like to thank the team here that works really diligently, Lindsay Briner, Daniel Van Tassel, and Jesse that works here as well for us. So, and Jamie Janover. I don't know if we've mentioned Jamie's name, but Jamie is an incredible resource to continue the flow of information that comes in through Facebook and social media, and then feed that back out. So we want to thank him as well. And Teresa, back to you.
Great. Thank you so much, Susan. You could really feel, the foundation is coming together in a whole new way, and We've got a strong core now to be able to open our doors, as you said, Nassim, to more people. We're going to open up the line. Adam's going to open up the line for some comments from some of the people that are on the line, but I wondered, Nassim, if you wanted to add anything just right now.
I just wanted to say how thank you, Teresa. That was wonderful. And that, you know, this is the visuals you're seeing there is really the vision that we have of the Academy and the expansion of the Resonance Project into the world, so that I'm not going around the world trying to get to everybody, but we are actually able to transmit the information, receive information, and collaborate in all this in real time out there with thousands and hundreds of thousands of people, and which would be completely impossible for me to achieve going around in airplanes every day. So this is really exciting. It's remarkable, and I really look forward to see the development of the Academy and to contribute what I can and you know, connect with you out there through this new medium and be able to feel that connectivity with our community at large out there, while being able to be in my little cave, you know, writing my little equations and all this stuff. So it's such a great opportunity, and again, thank you everybody for your participation.
Thank you, Nassim. I think it's really important to say, you know, the slides make everything look very beautiful, and you'll go to the site and it feels very elegant, and we're just beginning. And it's good to be at the beginning and to actually start with where we're at and to grow this together. So, you know, it's not, don't expect that the Resonance Project is just going to like hand over all this stuff, but that really, seriously, we're saying that we can do something unusually together. We can do something profound together and something that hasn't been done before. And it's going to take all of us showing up and providing our authentic participation and then feeding back how it's working for us to grow something that I think could be a model for many, many organizations in the future. And certainly it's going to have us all feel more connected to one another, and I think we're all longing for that. I know, Nassim, you just being in the lab, you know, if you don't feel connected to the people that really this work is serving, there's just something missing. And I think it's true for all of us. So that's something we can be excited about. So I'm going to turn it over to Adam Apollo, who's part of the Superluminal team you've been hearing about, and he's our key architect of the system part of our Superluminal system. And he's going to open up some lines, people that might want to make, I think in this first 15 minutes or probably 10 minutes, I'd like to just get comments from people like, what do you think? What's your response to this launch that we're having today? And then in the last 15 minutes of the call, we'll answer any questions that you might have. And we're also happy to answer those by email. So Adam, turning it over to you.
Great. So for the comments portion, if anybody has any comments they'd like to make about the presentation, some people have written those in their actual questions, and that's lovely. But if you'd like to actually speak to us over audio, just go ahead and raise your hand right now. Cheryl, I'm going to make you live.
Nassim and his friendship and my knowledge of sacred geometry birthed this beautiful book. And I'd just like to say that I'm going on tour this year, Nassim, so I will be spreading your teachings all over. My friend Jeanette, who turned me, and Paul Victor in Florida, who really are into Buckminster Fuller and many things, Marshall, that I know turn you on, and Teresa, and myself. And so, wow, this just came through I feel like I funneled it. Been invited to speak, where Jeanette is the gardener at Ormond Beach Memorial Gardens and Art Gallery. They have a friend at the Daytona Beach News Journal, so they're going to put a lot of word out for me. It's probably going to happen in January or in the springtime. So I'm really grateful.
Congratulations.
Like the unofficial emissary of all of your emissaries, really show people things like what Nassim's talking about, because even before he got the algebraic equation, I was writing this book, and Spirit just kept telling me, care for the earth and the earth will care for you. So the more that we apply what Nassim is talking about in the unified field, the more that we can apply it in our own hearts, to all of our relations in a really responsible way, to nourish, and we may be able to come up with solutions to some really drastic things that are happening on the planet right now. So
yes, thank you so much, Cheryl.
thank you so much.
We only have a little bit of time, so I want to make sure we can get to a couple other people. I'm going to unmute your mic.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, I just wanted to say thank you so much. The presentation was just brilliant, and what you're doing is something that's connecting our heart centers through this toroidal, multifaceted, functional facility that you're developing there. It's wonderful. It's extraordinary. It's wonderful. I'm so excited. So thank you.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Joyce. All right. I think we have a few more minutes. So, Ken, you are now unmuted.
Fantastic. Nassim, how you doing?
Good, good.
It's been way too long. I was familiar with Nassim when he was doing seminars at the, what was it, the Redwood Hall Gallery in Northern California? Yeah, excellent. I'll make this short, but basically, you know, obviously being a very high advocate of everything you're doing organizationally, spiritually, technically, physically is fantastic. I guess the real thing that I'm looking for is that, you know, I still live here in Northern California and would love to find a good, solid community group of people up here where we can start teaming on up. I've done your delegate program about 3 times, and more importantly, you know, you guys, I mean, the thing that makes all of you successful is having a good team, good organization, good direction, and being able to kind of follow through on the goals. And that's my forte. You know, when it comes to organizational structure, that's what I do. So I'm really anxious to find out, to dig in more to what you got in your academy and find out from a structural standpoint, organizational structural standpoint, what is it you need, what is it you're doing, and where can I fit in? So that's my spiel.
Awesome.
Send us an email with your info.
Okay.
Probably the best one to send that to is info@resonance.is.
Okay.
And Angel will get that email, and she'll forward it on to those of us who will get in touch with you. How's that?
Excellent. And Nassim, man, my blessings go out to you. You are the man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I really, you know, it brings me way back to think of those days in the Redwoods. And, you know, and absolutely the Academy is going to help, and it's all about connecting people and getting, you know, communities in your local environment to be able to interact with and exchange information and then share that across the world using the Academy structure.
Well, and I think that, you know, whenever I look at organizational success, you've got the product and service, which is basically what you're developing. You've got, you know, all of the worker bees, which are kind of all of us. And then you've got to have this amazing network of both cohesion within the worker bees and cohesion within the community you're trying to get out to. And that is, that last step is always kind of the tough one, because you've got to translate your message into about 50 different languages, not, you know, not real languages. I mean, that's part of it. But you've got thousands of different kinds of audience members out there that need to receive your message on whatever level that they can hear it on.
Right.
And if you've got the fact and you've got the organization, and the way I look at it is that the science and physics in some sense is easy, but how do you take that model and bring it into people's psychology and bring it into a business structure so that all of a sudden you can now have a new model of organization that fundamentally transforms the way people are thinking, whether they're aware of the psychology of it or not. That's the magic, and that's kind of what I like to see.
Yeah, well, you'll love our team because we definitely think in those terms, and so it'll be fun to have a conversation with you. I was looking through the questions, and I think I'm gonna just answer a few really key questions that I saw in there. One is, you know, how do I become a contributing member? Like that's an important one. Like you're excited, you want to do it, right? So when you go to the Academy, you'll see that there's a navigation across the top. One for the Discovery Center, that's where the tour is. And then the next one is Member Benefits. And if you click on Member Benefits, it'll show you the benefits I talked about today. And right in just below that, you'll see the opportunity to choose either a monthly amount, and you can choose as little as $10 a month, or whatever amount that you have. There's a selection of it. Or you can choose to make just an annual donation. In order to get the free delegate program, the minimum is $10 a month. You can also, below that, just make a single donation if you just want to give something or you want to give to that wish list. That's also a link is there. So it's a simple step. It takes about a couple of minutes to go through, create an account for yourself, because you'll end up having a profile as we begin to reveal the profile. You'll put in your payment information, and then you'll be done. And right there, you'll be invited to join the delegate program if you want, and you'll have access to some of our member resources. And things will begin to come to you over the next few months. If you want to sign up for the Solstice call, that's under our Inquiry Lab, and that's under the Discovery Center tab. So it's easy. Just take a minute to go to the site, and it should be right there. And if you encounter any problems, you can just email us and let us know. But the site's working well from all of our last tests, so we should be all set. The other big question we had was, so if I've taken the delegate program before, I mean, some people you say you've done it a few times, right? And so then can I just fast track into the emissary program? Because that's what we were going to do. You know, you go to the delegate program for the weekend, now you can become an emissary. The impulse to that was a good idea, but the time spent over a weekend really wasn't sufficient for the kind of really deep learning experience that we see offering now. There's just more that we need to do together to explore this. So yes, if you have gone through the delegate program before in the past, we would like you to enter into Delegate Level 1 and do the fundamentals journey. It might not be new information for you, but it might, because Nassim's theories continue to evolve. The field of unified physics is changing every day, and we're creating the program in a modular way so that we can stay up on the current science and information that's available. So we ask you to enter in. And if you become a contributing member, then you can get the delegate for free. I mean, that was one of the ways in which we thought, how do we just, gift our members there to be this exchange of energy so that we could get the ball rolling and grow this academy together. So that's the invitation. Yes, we'd love all delegates to jump in, and I think you'll be excited that you did. And go through the delegate process, and then we'll welcome new delegates that complete Delegate Level 1 and Level 2 into our emissary program, where we can begin to host groups, we can begin to guide groups, and actually contribute to the course development, which you'll see is going to be part of the design going forward. So those were two questions I saw that were asked over and over again. I wanted to answer that before we close. What, Marcia?
I just will make a comment about the, this moment of our launch and how our team has seen what's coming and has expressed some of the kind of the wonder of where we're heading. And that's the lower part of the iceberg that you won't see quite yet, but it's very exciting, both in terms of the program design structure that we're collaborating internally to come up with in that modular fashion in a way that invites contribution and interaction by participants, as well as some of the new immersive aspects that will be coming down the road. And they're down the road a little bit. And so as you come in now, it's a very simple initial entry into our vision and our participation